working on this scaffolding. Okay, now I was going to do the rivets with green stuff, but I was having real trouble getting the green stuff to stick on there. So what I ended up doing, wrong remote, yuck, yuck, yuck. So what I ended up doing was I used some flex paste. So I'm going to experiment and just see how this works. I'll just zoom in here and see. I just put some little rivet divots with flex paste from a toothpick. Same stuff as, you could use modelers, putty, or what's that other stuff called? I don't know. Any of the two-part stuff, it's kind of hard to get it to stick to the cardboard, okay? That's why I use this. It's kind of a gluey type stuff. Woodland Scenics sells it. It's kind of expensive, so if Testers model, that everybody should be able to find Testers modeling putty, that would work. Can't remember the names of stuff. As soon as I start yakking, I lose it. Squadron putty, that's it. Squadron putty comes in green or white and stuff. I tend to like the green a little bit better. But anyways, that would work really good too. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, well, here, I'll pause this. New session. Anyways, oh yeah, and the other thing, this white stuff, the hook, rug latch, hook latch type stuff that you can find at craft stores. I've seen it in really small little chunks, 3-inch stuff. Anyways, I'm going to use this for the grating between the ramps on the catwalk. I think that looks close enough to grating. It's pretty small. They're about 1/8-inch squares on this stuff. They sew wool through it, and they do kind of like a cross stitch type patterns and stuff. They do all kinds of stuff with this. Anyways, I make windows out of it, and now we're going to use it for catwalking, because that's cheap. That's only $1 for that. What else? I'll show you in the next one. White packing foam stuff. That goop works really good on it. Okay, so I'm going to give you another little overview on the goop. There's a bunch of comments on one of my videos. I'll put it on there and I kind of explain things a little bit. But this stuff is actually kind of cool. I don't use it very often, but in this case here, I'm going to do a whole city type, not a city. I'm going to do a industrial type park. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this stuff in it. Okay. Comes in various sizes. It's usually free. If you tell your friends or family that hey, save some of that stuff for me, you'll be inundated with it. You'll have tons of it. Okay. I was going to kind of use this little piece here, and then I was looking at this piece here, which is kind of cool because it's got some long column pillar type pieces in there. It was my work good. And then I found this piece, which is really cool. It's got some little squares and stuff in it too. I want to keep these on 1-foot boards so that I can interchange things and sort of change the board around a little bit. And I think I'm going to probably use this one. This one is kind of a neat shape. Anyways, I'll probably end up using this other one here too, but okay. So, now, in order to get it onto the 1-foot shape here, I'm going to have to bust this one window out, which is kind of cool. I think that'll be good. And I want to put these catwalks that I've been making kind of in the back here too. So, I'm just going to give this a little bit of thought here, and then I'm going to pretty much just take a saw, and saw it out. Don't use those heat guns very much, just because it stinks so much. That smells not good for you. Okay, I've decided on this piece here. Looks pretty good. I've cut it so that it'll fit onto our 1-foot board. I'm going to set it back a little bit here. That way you can have kind of rubbling and stuff in behind it a bit. Can't quite decide on the catwalking type stuff. I might put that out front. I want it to be able to be homogeneous with the rest of the pieces so that, if I put a building here, it looks like it kind of makes sense. So, being as this edge here is going to be flat, that can go right up against the board. And on this side here, I guess I'll just shorten it an inch or so there. That'll be fine. Now, this stuff has, you know, sometimes it has designs kind of punched in it. Like if you look at this, it's got little dots in sort of a star-shaped pattern, and then it's got, you know, the PS or recycle things there, and it's got some marks here. Shave off those as best you can. The goop will cover that a bit, and then a sanding sponge works really good too. Can't find your sanding sponge? Like I can never find stuff. Oh, here it is. You can just use just plain sandpaper too, but I like sanding sponges because it's flat. Hey? This will also take off the outer, you know, coating on this stuff, so that you know, our goop stuff will stick to it better. So go over it all over with your sanding sponge. It should be able to take these big numbers off. Yeah, it does. Excellent. And then try to make sense of the inside here. I'm going to zoom in on this. So by cutting this piece off the way I did, see, that gives me a nice little work table there. Hey, that's perfect right height. So when you know, I've got it mounted on the board. Oops, there we go. I've got a, you know, sort of a construction table there. It's kind of cool. And then the one beam here, didn't make sense, so I cut it off so it's flush with the roof, and then I don't know, we'll stick pipes out of that here in a minute. Quick tip, when you're reusing like plastic tubes like this, in this case I'm using one of my caulking tubes, okay? Give it a light sand with some sandpaper, okay? Either your flat sponge or some sort of sandpaper, because you do want to roughen it up. It'll make the paint stick better. It won't peel on you so much, okay? And then also, if you're gluing something to it later on, then it's already prepared, you know, for the glue to stick. Okay, and that's all you need there is what I just did. Zoom in here a little bit. So I'm making a tower in this industrial scene here. I'm using a caulking tube where I've cut the tip off, and then I've taken some of that hook latch plastic and wrapped it around there. Those are wooden dowels. I've poked a hole in here. I just used a sharp nail and poked a hole in, and then stuck those through there. And I think I'll cut these off pretty much. I don't know if I'm going to have a catwalk thingy up there or not. Maybe. Anyways, I'm going to cut them off about 3/4 of an inch above. I'll let that dry and then decide. Just want to show you these are lids off of frozen juice containers. You know, if you know anybody who drinks frozen juice, or like, you know, what I can't even think of any of the kinds. My wife uses orange juice for lots of stuff. So anyways, I keep all the lids because these make great gluing and paint palette type things. You know, they're nice, disposable. I keep them in a Pringles container because they fit just perfectly. But so if I'm, you know, doing something inside the house, or, you know, working somewhere, and I want, you know, to have something with a little bit of glue, it's nice because they got lips around them and everything, eh? I use them a lot for, you know, mixing up little bits of glue or just holding stuff in. Anyways.